Hey guys, just wanted to do my reaction video to Arrow Season 7, Episode 13, The Star City Slayer. It was the 150th episode, and that dealt with, it was kind of like a document, there are a lot of the characters, past and present, was subject of a documentary on vigilantes in Star City. So they had like interviews with even past characters like Sarah Lance, Barry, Quentin Lance, Thea, Queen, Sin. They had Rory Regan, who was Ragdoll. Roy Harper at the time of his arrest when he was impersonating the Green Arrow to cover for Oliver in season 3. And I guess like when they were following them around in present day to give a kind of like a found footage feel, but they didn't use it the whole time. They just used it when it was necessary, like not to, I guess for like certain dramatic scenes, it went back to the regular third person footage we get to see in every week. But also the action sequences, some like found footage stuff, especially during one of the fights between Arrow and the villain of the week, Chimera, was really well done, and it did feel a very like commemorative, like creative way to celebrate 150 episodes of the show, with ended the villain of the week being revealed to be some guy we never met. It wasn't like as a lot of people, and I figured it wasn't going to be Stanley Dover. A lot of people thought it was going to be. I thought it's like, no, he wouldn't have like some military grade like Wayne Tech exosuit, being able to take on any kind of vigilantes at all. So, although this week is supposed to feature him, which is why it's called Star City Slayer, in reference to his alias, to his nickname in the comic books. So maybe he's possibly the one that's like stalking Laurel and Dinah, as just like in past sins, as he did escape during the Slab Side Redemption episode. And I guess we're gonna find out, tie up that loose end, and guess he'll presumably be a villain of the week, and see how that all plays. Heading into the police station.
Pancakes. William needs to tell us why he got expelled and why he's been lying to us.
You after pancakes? Or
no.
Okay. Ready to talk?
About what? That's how I felt for once. But you don't ask other people for their opinions. You decide everything on your own. Just like you decided to go to prison rather than take care of your family.
I don't think that's fair, but okay.
Been here.
Oh, what the hell?
Someone's still here. I told you this wouldn't end well.
I'm not sure who that is. This looks like Stanley.
I can't move. Stop.
This.
Please, just stop. I'll give you anything you want. Why are you doing this?
Let me see that.
It's impossible.
Actually, solving a Rubik's Cube is a lot like running an algorithm. In fact, my favorite pattern is a cube within a cube.
That's where it came from.
It's pretty cool.
I hate drinks. Where are the others?
Hey, you. Where are our friends?
With Black Star. Hey, she's got questions to ask. What about us? I already know everything I need to know about you. And you guys should have stayed out of this.
I recognize you.
I was wondering if she was going to.
And so do you. You're Connor Hawk.
I can't have you phoning for backup every time that you're mad at me.
It's the only thing that got you to listen.
You think I'm not listening? I have heard and felt every single terrible thing that you've said to me since you've been back.
Come on, I'm trying my best.
That's the problem, because whenever you're around, things always get worse. You want to give me a normal life?
Yes! That's all I've ever tried to do. That's why I've asked you to come back here and live with
This
Felicity
isn't a
and I.
normal life. I want to go live with my grandparents.
That says, "Hey, murderer, we're here."
You were saying, Renee?
Curtis, Renee, you take upstairs. Neodino was secure down here.
Split up? Have you guys never seen a horror movie before? Wait, Renee.
Don't play a key. Don't play a key. Oh no!
You should listen to me.
That son of a bitch. That's how she loses her cry?
Mid-infrared lasers that might be able to cauterize the wound. Might or will? I don't know. But the only way to bond the cut is by burning it first. I've never tested it though.
Do it. Do it.
Oh my god.
Tell me when.
Okay, done.
If you didn't kill Felicity, then who did?
No one. Felicity's still alive.
That's not a surprise.
How do you know that?
I just do. That's why I need Archer.
Felicity, why she disappeared from my life only to contact me now out of the blue?
What, did you guys date or something?
God, no. I'm gay and she's my mom. Stepmom.
Oliver Queen is your father?
Did you get anything out of him?
You're supposed to be watching the others.
Damn! Damn! Damn!
Brace yourself, what?
Okay. Oh my
I
god.
can't even move.
I can't either. What's that sound?
Dad, what's going on?
Don't worry, Oliver. It's me. But they're still bad for you. Worse even because they don't understand you. They don't understand you like I do. And I only had time to correct one of them. Correct them? What the police captain? The Black Canary.
What did you do to her?
It doesn't matter.
It always involves some older brother figure, someone he admires. Stanley starts off by killing those he thinks are bad for them, and not just enemies, but friends as well.
Tries to impress them, tries to endear himself. And when that doesn't work, they become his next target. You guys okay though?
So far, so yeah. But I'm really happy that you're finally doing what you want.
I think it's time we did the same. Talked to my lawyer. They're gonna draw up some legal documents. I'm signing over sole ownership of Helix to you.
You don't have to do that.
I want to. Helix was your idea. And I love working with you, but it feels like you're struggling to find your purpose too.
Yeah.
Maybe this is it.
Hi, Dr. Schwartz, is everything okay? Oh, good. I thought it was gonna be one of those calls where you say everything spread to the liver, and then I'm. And what?
You can't win this.
Drop the damn knife.
Come on. Don't give me a reason to pull this trigger.
You're not gonna shoot me.
You sure about that?
Yeah. Because my name is Mia Smoke. I'm Felicity's daughter. And your sister.
Okay, so this was a hell of an episode. So I was not expecting, some callbacks to, I guess like some of the other, I guess like the other flash forwards from earlier in the season when Felicity talking to William about a Rubik's Cube was like a puzzle within a puzzle or something like that. I guess everybody suspected the Star City Slayer was going to be Stanley Dover, especially since that's what he's referred to in the comics, and you know the the drug that like that was used, the paralytic drug, was pretty much similar to. Well, I guess it wasn't. I guess he used more of a drug to like knock out Oliver during episode 7. But yeah, I just feel like that was kind of like, even if it wasn't but just using like drug him through chemical in a syringe to kind of remind me of what happened in Slapside. First it was just kind of like, first I was kind of pissed off because if Brick went out in an anticlimactic fashion, and then, but I guess they made him more believable here since it was Stanley Dover getting a lucky shot in by slashing Dinah's throat. And I was sort of like, this is how she lost her powers, but then I kind of realized it was trying to sell that Stanley was more cunning than I guess it was led to believe, especially gassing the apartment and slipping the drug and just following Oliver around because he's being this seems like an obsessed fanboy, and basically his pattern is you latch on to a big brother figure and try to act like what's best for them, and then kind of go off the deep end. But it's like getting abused by his parents and then putting through the same abuse with the paralytic drug and whatnot. Then I think it was bad, but it would cause anybody to snap, and just felt like there were a lot of parallels between him and like Grant Ward on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. If anybody watches that show, he was also a victim of abuse, and kept saying he was trying to, his brother was trying to protect him, or he was trying to look out for his brother. But then of course they were kind of appalled by his actions, so the brother kind of turned against them. Granted, Stanley went as far as to kill the brother that turned against him. And yeah, Arkham Asylum was like, I guess it's a blight from Gotham, and it's like that's totally where he should have been locked up. But I guess because everybody knows Arkham Asylum is basically like a revolving door, people going in and out in any incarnation. So I guess that's probably how it ended up in Slapside instead. I figured like we don't understand like what if Williams is really angry about feeling abandoned by Oliver, or the fact that maybe I feel like he had abandoned, that maybe it was started the fight and what got him kicked out, or maybe that's something to do with the fact that maybe that's it, or that I was thinking it had something to do with the fact that he was struggling with his orientation. He was I don't know, and maybe it caused him to get picked on at the boarding school, and that's why he got into a fight and got kicked out. I was gonna wrap it up here. It might just attribute it to him feeling abandoned by Oliver, is why he was pissed off. But yeah, I think like going to live with his grandparents was probably the best course of action. And I gotta say, the actor Jack Moore is improved. Is definitely, he's definitely big. I liked his performance like this season more so than previous seasons. Definitely improved. Got more comfortable in the role, it seems like. But yeah, getting the phone call from Dr. Schwartz, reference to Beth Schwartz, the new showrunner. It thought it had to do with I thought it would have to do with Dinah, but now I feel like it might have been a foreshadowing to, that she's basically pregnant with Mia Smoke. And a lot of people were just theorizing, that's who Black Star really was, and you know that's the. Yeah, I wasn't against that theory. I didn't think it was a ridiculous theory. I just can't went in with an open mind and just, turns out everybody called it. It was good to see Connor Hart, John Diggle Jr. again, and like the fight scenes they had in the abandoned bunker that was like top notch. Probably some of the best like fighting, one of the best fight scenes I've seen on the show. It's like it was really above and beyond. It's incredibly intense. And it kind of makes you wonder like what kind of role Dinah's gonna have now that she's presumably lost her canary cry. Does that mean Black Siren's gonna have a more active role? Like people have been wanting to take up the mantle in a sense. I guess he can't. He hasn't been deputized. Yeah, it had a lot of great twists, like the whole horror film thriller aspect they had with dealing with a serial killer creeping around the house. Curtis pointing out how it's always bad to split up because that's how the guys get the drop on each one of them. But yeah, this was actually I really like this episode a lot. Very well crafted, a lot of suspense. It was very intense. Like the guy, I wish, forgive me for not knowing the actor's name, but the guy playing Stanley Dover really brings in intensity and just unhinged creepiness to him that just kind of had me on the edge of my seat. And and I figured he would be a villain of the week, and he kind of made the episode count. He pulled it off. More cunning than we let on to believe, and got some more backstory from him. And I mean, this was a great episode. I guess across the board. I mean, I don't know. I guess, and I guess I don't know if this really means Curtis is really leaving the show or not. But I mean, there hasn't been any announcements, or I haven't seen anything on social media saying that was or anything saying this was supposed to be his last episode. So I guess we'll see. But overall, really solid, really really good episode. I'm really, really impressed with what the season's been doing so far. So, and it benefits from having a new showrunner. And as much as I like shows like Flat, I thought the Flash season 5 has been pretty good in spite of pacing issues, and Supergirl's been slowly improving in its back half. There still feels like the writing has left on those shows left a lot to be desired, and they could use new showrunners and put a new spin on it. It benefits it. It benefited this show and it's benefited Walking Dead. So maybe fingers crossed that something happens sometime in the future, and they kind of follow Arrow, just having more breaking the season up in more mini arcs instead of just or at least Supergirl's already starting to do that so far. And maybe Flash, it could use, maybe breaking up its shows into mini arcs like an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. where you do with one big bad and then another big bad in the second half, something like that. Anyway, love this episode. Damn near, I think it's the perfect episode. I'll give it 10 out of 10. Screw it. So what do you guys think? Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. What are your predictions for future flashbacks and what's going on with Dinah and Felicity? Let me know in the comments down below. If you like this episode, like this video, share, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.